It was around Easter my 7th grade year when my parents went off to Virginia to be interviewed for the position of commandant. My dad had only been retired for about 6 months, and he was already bored with fishing, filling up the gas tanks of both cars every chance he could, and washing clothes twice a day. So when my dad was asked to come to Virginia for an interview, we were all pretty excited. When my parents came back from the interview, they basically told me that he had the job in the bag. And naturally, I was thrilled, at least for both of their sanity. I would be lying to you all if I told you I wasn't personally excited about this job, because honestly I was. I had gone from having to move every 2 years to being stuck in Texas for 5 long years. So needless to say, I was ready to move somewhere new. I was also excited to experience going to a private school for the first time, and the fact that I could fly at RMA made it 10 times better. When I came to RMA my 8th grade year, I was once again the new kid, but that didn't bother me too much, especially since I wasn't the only one. I was able to become close friends with a group of people who will either be graduating by my side or graduating next year. I was able to become practically a member of the Groves family by becoming best friends with Curran. 8th grade year was tough, but it became a little easier once people got to really know me, or know who I was, especially after I taught Philip Kenny a lesson. By the end of my first year here, I couldn't wait to get out to the upper school. However, freshman year wasn't as fantastic as I thought it would be. But we all tend to get a little excited about the things we have not yet experienced. Freshman year was definitely an experience. I made my typical freshman mistakes here and there, but who didn't do that? And if you just told yourself you never made one of those typical freshman mistakes, you probably just lied to yourself. In fact, with one of those mistakes I made that year, I wrote my father a letter and asked him to let me make that mistake and learn from it, which I did. Needless to say, I learned from it. In fact, if you ask him about that letter, he will tell you that he still has it in his office and reads it every once in a while. I'm sorry. By sophomore year, I pretty much had everything figured out, and I was ready to start a new year with a new set of classes and friends. That year, I met my twin, got my first set of tours, went to military ball with a senior, and lost a classmate. If anybody is wondering, my twin is Margaret Strain. The main reason I consider her my twin is that we have the same birthday, and sophomore year we are inseparable. In fact, we made shirts saying Thing 1 and Thing 2. We won't talk about why I got the tours, but I figured I'd put it out there that yes, the commandant's daughter did get a tour at one point. Military ball was fun and a great memory that I got to repeat for the next 2 years. Even though I didn't know Sean or his father very well, I still noticed when I didn't see him in between 6th and 7th period. It was hard to believe that someone you knew could be taken out of your life so quickly and tragically. I thought that would be the last time, but sadly it wasn't. When junior year came around, I couldn't wait for it to end. It was probably the roughest year for me, because most of my best friends had graduated the year before, and they were off doing their college things while I was stuck at RMA. Fortunately, I still had my old friends, and to preoccupy my time, I had Dawn's office. Dawn was one of a couple of people that kept me going throughout the whole year. If you ask anybody that has ever had to see her, they can tell you she will do all she can to make sure you are okay mentally and physically. By the end of that year, I had made a new set of friends and was once again upset when graduation came for obvious reasons. The summer leading into my senior year, we lost Assad and his cousin. That was when I truly found out how much of a diverse family RMA really was. Senior year came surprisingly faster than I thought it would and ended even faster. I I don't know about anybody else's year, but mine was full of all sorts of experience. For starters, I got the flu, which was the worst thing ever. Then I had to deal with way more sports boo-boos than I ever thought was possible. Going to Florida and North Carolina with the band and chorus was great, except for the hotel in Florida. Apple Blossom was one thing I could not wait to do this whole year. I had so much fun being a princess. Last but not least, the trips to Hershey Park and Busch Gardens were fun and an excellent closing to this year. Although it sounds as if I had a great year, except for the flu, there was one huge bump in the road. On the 16th of April, we lost another member of our family. Joshua McMichael was tragically taken away from us all that night. But once again, with his death, the Arme family came together once again. With his death, he helped me realize how short our lives really are, and that we need to live to the fullest. With this goal in mind, I am more than ready to graduate and move on to more experiences that I will hopefully be able to fulfill. I'm sure you all are tired of listening to me go on and on. So I'll say a couple more things. I'd like to thank all the teachers and coaches who had to deal with me since my first year here. I know you all have wanted to kill me at least once. Most of all, I would like to thank my parents and my brothers for everything. Without you guys and your strength, I wouldn't have been able to get through everything. Last but not least, I would like to leave the class of 2010 with an inspirational quote by the best doctor out there, Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. You are the guy who will decide where to go.